girl at the club was nervous and shy, sings her songs to the patrons, sipping their tea. Love, death, and beauty inspire this lady, the lady from the house in the tree. A young gypsy, daughter of the moon, she walked with the king and saves a place for you. Golden dreamers paying their dues. Blessed is a lady from the house in the tree. Catch her words on the Gulf winds as they blow through your hair, and let your greatest dreams begin. Love needs nothing returned, sings the mothers of earth, the warriors for peace. They're ready to fight for human rights, and they stand beside the lady from the house in the tree. They tell a story of seabirds in flight, still waters at night, and living free. They all know her name, from Thailand to Spain. I am with you, sings a lady from the house in the tree. The mist rolls in from Highway 1 as the tides recede and swell, and sing fare thee well. Thank you so much for joining us on Joan Baez's 80th birthday. And we are here. We are Bay Love, Linda Martin and Kevin Termundi, and we are a folk acoustic duo from Baywood Park, California. Very happy to be here with you playing songs about peace and love and humanitarianism and all that good stuff. We wrote the song that you just heard, The Lady from the House in the Tree, because Joan Baez lives in Northern California and she has a tree house on her property, and she's known to spend a lot of time in her tree house. So please come and trace Joan's footsteps gently as we begin with this anthem of unity. Please sing along. Someone singing, Lord, Kumbaya. Someone singing, Lord, Kumbaya. Someone singing, Lord, Kumbaya. Oh Lord, Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya. Oh Lord, Kumbaya. Good job, you guys. With your guns and drums and drums and guns, hooroo, hooroo. With your guns and drums and drums and guns, hooroo, hooroo. With your guns and drums and drums and guns, the enemy nearly slew ya. My darling dear, you look so queer. Johnny, I hardly knew ya. Where are your legs? I used to run, hooroo, hooroo. Where are your legs? I used to run, hooroo, hooroo. Where are your legs that used to run before you left to carry a gun? I fear your dancing days are done. Johnny, I hardly knew ya. Where are your eyes that were so mild, hooroo, hooroo? Where are your eyes that were so mild, hooroo, hooroo? Where are your eyes that were so mild when my heart you did beguile? And why did you run from me and the child? Johnny, I hardly knew ya. You haven't an arm, you haven't a leg, hooroo, hooroo. You haven't an arm, you haven't a leg, hooroo, hooroo. You haven't an arm, you haven't a leg. You're an eyeless, boneless, chickenless egg, and you'll have to be put with a bowl to beg. Johnny, I hardly knew ya. They're rolling out the guns again, hooroo, hooroo. They're rolling out the guns again, hooroo, hooroo. They're rolling out the guns again, but they won't take back their sons again. No, they'll never take back their sons again. Johnny, I'm swearing to you.
Johnny, I Hardly Knew You, a traditional anti-Irish tune, anti-war tune. Our next two anthems were performed by Joan at the 1963 March on Washington with Dr. Martin Luther King.
Oh, freedom, oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me, and before I'll be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. No more weeping, sing with me one more time? Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. And before I'll be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. Excellent. Here's another peace anthem sing-along, something that Joan was known very well for in her 60-year career. Won't you sing along? We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. We shall be all right. We shall be all right. We shall be all right. We shall be all right someday. Oh, deep in our hearts, oh, we do believe that we shall overcome someday. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace today. Oh, deep in my heart, oh, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. Excellent.
The next two songs we take from Joan's earliest works. They're traditional English folk songs, Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You, and The House of the Rising Sun.
There is a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor girl and me. Oh God, I'm one. If I had listened to what my mother said, I'd have been at home today. But I was young and foolish. Oh God, I let a rambler lead me astray.
tell my baby sister, don't do what I have done, but shun that house in New Orleans they call the rising sun. I'm going back to New Orleans. My race is almost run. I'm going back to spend my life beneath that rising sun. Babe, I'm gonna leave you. Tell you when I'm gonna leave you. Leave you when old summertime, summer comes a-rolling. Leave you when old summer comes along. Babe, the highway's calling, that old highway's a-calling, calling me to travel on out westward, calling me to travel on alone. Babe, I'd like to stay here. You know I'd really like to stay here. My feet start going down and I've got to follow. My feet start going down alone. Babe, I've got to ramble. You know I've got to ramble. My feet start going down and I've got to follow. My feet start going down and I've got to go.
Kevin Termundi on fingerstyle guitar. Isn't that beautiful?
Many of the arrangements that I'm using tonight came directly from Joan's recordings. She has told a story about when Martin approached her in 1996 to do a Joan Baez signature model guitar, quite an honor. So in order to do that, they had to open up her original guitar that she got in the 1960s, and they found in there a little scroll that said, "Too bad you're a communist." Apparently an earlier technician may have disagreed with Joan's politics and put that in as a little message. So when Martin recreated the Joan Baez signature model in '97, they added the scroll, "Too bad you're a communist."
Happy birthday, Joan. The next song is an old Irish folk ballad. called Carrickfergus, and Joan describes it as being very, very beautiful and very, very sad.
Wish I had you in Carrickfergus, only for nights in Ballygrand. I would swim over the deepest ocean, the deepest ocean, to be by your side. But the sea is wide, I can't swim over, and neither have I wings to fly. I wish I could find me a handy boatman to ferry me over to my love and I. These childhood places bring sad reflections of happy days spent so long ago. These childhood friends and my own relations have all passed on now, like the melting snow. I spend my days in endless roving. Soft is the grass, my bed is free. Oh, to be home now in Carrickfergus, on the long road down to the salty sea. And in Kilkenny it is reported on marble stone, as black as ink, with gold and silver, he did support me. But I'll sing no more now till I've had a drink, and I'm drunk today, I'm rarely sober, as I wove on I'm sick now, and my days are numbered. Come all ye young lads and lay me down. Come all ye young lads and lay me down. Come gather round, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If the time to you is worth saving, then you'd better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone, for the times they are a-changin'. It's all over now, baby blue. You must leave now, take what you need, you think will last. For whatever you wish to keep, you better grab it fast. Yonder stands your orphan with his gun, crying like a fire in the sun. Look out, the saints are coming through. It's all over now, baby blue. The highway is for gamblers, better use your sense. Take what you have gathered from coincidence. The empty-handed painter from your street is drawing crazy patterns on your sheet. Look out, folding under you. It's all over now, baby blue. All your seasick sailors are all rowing home. All your reindeer armies are all going home. Your lover who has just walked out your door has taken all her blankets from the floor. The carpet too is moving under you. It's all over now, baby blue. Leave your stepping stones behind you. Something calls for you. Forget the dead you've left. They at your door is standing in the clothes you once wore. Strike another match, let's start anew. It's all over now, baby blue. Oh, it's all over now, baby blue.
Started out with The Times They Are Changing, and It's All Over Now. Both songs were written by Bob Dylan, of course. We have several more Dylan tunes in this set. In her career, Joan recorded over 25 songs of Bob's, and of course, they were partners from 1963 to 1965.
Here's another Bob tune for you.
It ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe, if you don't know by now. It ain't no use to sit and wonder why. It don't matter anyhow. When the rooster crows at the break of dawn, look out your window and I'll be gone. You're the reason I'm traveling on, but don't think twice, it's all right. And it ain't no use in turning on your light, babe, the light I'd never known. It ain't no use in turning on your light. I'm on the dark side of the road. Still I wish there was something you could do or say to try and make me change my mind and stay. But never did too much talking anyway. But don't think twice, it's all right. And it ain't no use in calling out my name, babe, like you'd never done before. It ain't no use in calling out my name. I can't hear you anymore. I'm thinking and wondering all the way down the road. I once loved a woman, a child I'm told. I gave her my heart, but she wanted my soul. So don't think twice, it's all right. And I'm going down that long, lonesome road, babe. Where I'm bound, I can't tell. But goodbye's too good a word. So I'll just say fare thee well. I ain't saying you treated me unkind. Could have done better, but I don't mind. You just kinda wasted my precious time. So don't think twice, it's all right.
Joan has named the next song her first political song she ever recorded, and that it is as relevant today as it was 50 years ago. We're still dealing with the same crap, right? All right, this is called With God on Our Side.
Oh, my name, it means nothing. My age, it means less. The country I come from is called the U.S. I was taught and brought up there, the laws to abide, and the land that I live in has God on its side. Oh, the history books tell it, they tell it so well. The cavalry's charged, the Indians fell. The cavalry's charged, the Indians died. Oh, the country was young then, with God on its side. The Spanish-American War had its day, and the Civil War too was soon laid away, and the names of the heroes I was made to memorize, with guns in their hands and God on their side. The First World War, boys, it came and it went. The reason for fighting I never did get, but I learned to accept it with pride. For you don't count the dead when God's on your side. The Second World War came to an end. We forgave the Germans, and then we were friends. Though they murdered 6 million in the ovens they fried, the Germans now too have God on their side. I've learned to hate Russians all through my life. If another war comes, it's them we must fight. To hate them and fear them, to run and to hide, and accept it all bravely with God on my side. But now we've got weapons of chemical dust. If fire them were forced to, then fire them we must. One push of a button and a shot the world wide, and you never ask questions when God's on your side. So now I'm leaving, I'm weary as hell. The confusion I'm feeling, no tongue can tell. The words fill my head and fall to the floor. God is on our side, we'll stop the next war.
In the next song, pay close attention to the second verse. You will hear Linda doing her imitation of Joan doing her impersonation of Bob.
Seemed like only yesterday I left my mind behind, down in the Gypsy Cafe with a friend of mine, who sat with baby heavy on her knee, spoke a life most free from slavery, with eyes that showed no trace of misery. The phrase in connection first with she occurred, that love is just a four-letter word. Outside a rambling storefront window cats me out to the break of day. Me, I kept my mouth shut to you, I have no words to say. My experience was limited and unfair. You were rapping while I hear to the one who was the father of your kid. You probably didn't think I did, but I heard that love is just a four-letter word. I went on my way unnoticed, slipped forth into my own games, in and out of lifetimes unmentionable by name, searching for my double, looking for complete evaporation to the core. Though I tried and failed at finding any door, I thought that there was nothing more absurd, just a four-letter word. Strange it is to be beside you, many years the tables turn. You probably not believe me if I told you all I've learned, and it is very, very weird indeed to hear words like forever fleets of ships run through my mind. I cannot cheat. It's like looking in a teacher's face complete. I can say nothing to you but repeat. But I heard that love is just a four-letter word. Farewell, Angelina, the bells of the crown are being stolen by bandits. I must follow the sound. The triangle tingles and the trumpets play slow. But farewell, Angelina, the sky is on fire and I must go. There's no need for anger, there's no need for blame. There's nothing to prove, everything's still the same. Just a table standing empty by the edge of the sea means farewell, Angelina. The sky is trembling and I must leave. The Jack and the Queen have forsake the courtyards. 52 gypsies now file past the guards. In the space where the deuce and the ace once ran wild means farewell, Angelina. The sky is falling, I'll see you in a while. sits it perched in the sun, shooting tin cans with a sawed-off shotgun. And they cheer with each blast. But farewell, Angelina, the sky's changing colors, and I must leave fast. King Kong, little elves on the rooftop, they dance Valentino-type tangos while a makeup man's hands shut the eyes of the dead, not to embarrass anyone. But farewell, Angelina, the sky is embarrassed, and I must be gone. The machine guns are roaring, and the carpets heave rocks, and thieves nail time bombs to the hands of the clocks. Call me any name you like, I will never deny it. But farewell, Angelina, the sky is erupting, I must go where it's quiet.
Our final song in this Dylan set is Blowin' in the Wind. It's a nice sing-along song. We're going to have several more in the show. So thank you for participating from your homes and for tuning in with us for Joan Baez's 80th birthday. Thank you so much.
How many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man? How many seas must a white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? How many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. How many years can a mountain exist before it's washed to the sea? How many years must people exist before they're allowed to be free? Oh, and how many times can a man turn his head and pretend that he just doesn't see? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. How many times can a man look up before he sees the sky? How many ears must one man have before he can hear people cry? Oh, and how many deaths will it take till he knows, sing it, that too many people people have died. That's right. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Oh, the answer, my friends, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
Thank you for singing along.
Here are a couple more civil rights anthems for us to sing along together. The first one is No Nos Mover On, We Shall Not Be Moved, followed by I Ain't Gonna Let Nobody Turn Me Around.
No, no, no nos moverán. No, no, no nos moverán como árbol firme junto río. No nos moverán. We shall not be moved. Sing along. No, no, we shall not be moved. No, no, we shall not be moved like a firm tree by the river. We shall not be moved. No nos moverán. No, no, no nos moverán. No, no, no nos moverán como árbol firme junto río. No nos moverán. One more time. We shall not be moved. No, no, we shall not be moved. No, no, we shall not be moved like a firm tree by the river. We shall not be moved. No nos moverán. Excellent, you guys.
In 1969, Joan performed the next song, Joe Hill at Woodstock.
We're going to do Ain't Gonna Let Nobody Turn Me Around, right? All right. You guys can sing along to this one, okay? Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Here we go.
Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Keep on walking, keep on talking. Gonna build a brand new world. Ain't gonna let the administration turn me around, no. Turn me around, no. Turn me around. Ain't gonna let the administration turn me around. Keep on walking, keep on talking. Gonna build a brand new world. Systemic racism. Let systemic racism turn me around. No, turn me around. Turn me around. Ain't gonna let systemic racism turn me around. Keep on walking, keep on talking. Gonna build a brand new world. Corrupt authority. Ain't gonna let corrupt authority turn me around. Turn me around. Turn me around. Ain't gonna let corrupt authority turn me around. Keep on walking, keep on talking. gonna build a brand new world. Voter suppression, gonna let voter suppression turn me around, no, turn me around. Turn me around, ain't gonna let voter suppression turn me around. Keep on walking, keep on talking, gonna build a brand new world. One more time, ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around, ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Keep on walking, keep on talking, keep on singing, keep on swinging, gonna build a brand new world. Yes.
Okay, 1969. We're at Woodstock. Joe Hill was performed for the first time by Joan.
At that same time, her husband, David Harris, was serving a term in federal prison with charges of draft evasion, and Joan was 6 months pregnant at Woodstock with Gabe.
I dreamed I saw Joe Hill last night, alive as you and me. Says I, but Joe, you're 10 years dead. I never died, said he. I never died, said he. The copper bosses killed you, Joe. They shot you, Joe, says I. Takes more than guns to kill a man, says Joe. I didn't die, says Joe, I didn't die. And standing there as big as life, and smiling with his eyes, says Joe, what they can never kill went on to organize, went on to organize. From San Diego up to Maine, in every mine and mill, where working men defend their rights, it's there you'll find Joe Hill. It's there you'll find Joe Hill. 100 years or more have passed since he was standing here, a martyr for the cause he was. Joe Hill is always near. Joe Hill is always near. Perhaps some fading flower then would come to life and rise. This is my last and final word. Don't mourn me, organize. Don't mourn me, organize.
Next song was written by Phil Oakes, and it's called There But for Fortune.
Show me the prison. Show me the jail. Show me me the prisoner whose life has gone stale, and I'll show you a young man with so many reasons why. There, but for fortune, go you and I. Show me the alley, show me the train, show me the hobo who sleeps out in the rain, and I'll show you a young man with so many reasons why. There, but for fortune, go you and I. Show me the whiskey stains on the floor. Show me the drunkard as he stumbles out the door. And I'll show you a young man with so many reasons why. There, but for fortune, go you and I. Show me the country where the bombs had to fall. Show me the ruins of the buildings once so tall. And I'll show you a young man with so many reasons why. There, but for fortune, go you and I, you and I.
Our next song was called Prison Trilogy. Excuse me, our next song was written by Woody Guthrie, and it's about the plane crash that took place in 1948, killing 28 immigrant field workers. In 2020, Joan Baez was awarded the Woody Guthrie Prize, honoring the groundbreaking career and impact on humanitarian causes she had had. She commented, "It's been my mission to use my music as a voice for those who could not be heard or have been silenced by fear and powerlessness."
We'd like to dedicate this to everybody in the world that grows and harvests our food. Thank you so much.
Crops are all in and the peaches are rotting. The oranges are piled in their creosote dumps. They're flying Mexican border to pay all their money and wade back again. My father's own father, he waded that river. He took all the money he made in his life. My brothers and sisters went working the fruit trees. They rode on that truck till they lay down and died. Goodbye, my one, goodbye, Rosalita, adios, mis amigos, Jesus y Maria. You won't have a name when you ride the big airplane. All they will call you will be deportee. Some of us are illegal and others not wanted. Our work contract's out and they got to move on. It's 600 miles to that Mexican border. They chase us like outlaws, like rustlers, like thieves. We died in your hills and we died in your deserts. We died in your valleys, we died in your plains. We died neath your trees and we died in your bushes. Both sides of that river, we died just the same. Goodbye, my one, goodbye, Rosalita, adios, mis amigos, Jesus y Maria. You won't have a name when you ride the big airplane, and all they will call you will be deportee. A sky plane caught fire over Los Gatos Canyon. A fireball of lightning that shook all the hills. Who are these good friends all scattered like dry leaves? The radio tells us they're just deportees. Is this the best way we can grow our big orchards? Is this the best way we can grow our good fruits? To fall like dry leaves and rot on the topsoil and be called by no name except deportees. Goodbye, my one, goodbye, Rosalita, adios, mis amigos, Jesus y Maria. You won't have a name when you ride the big airplane, and all they will call you will be deportee. And all they will call you will be deportee.
The next song is called Prison Trilogy, Billy Rose, and it was written by Joan in the early 1970s about prison reform. The stories of Billy, Luna, and Kilowatt were all told to Joan through letters from her husband David, who was currently incarcerated.
Billy Rose was a low rider, Billy Rose was a night fighter. Billy Rose knew trouble like the sound of his own name. Busted on a drunken charge, driving someone else's car. The local midnight sheriff's claim to fame. In an Arizona jail, there are some who tell the tale how Billy fought the sergeant for some milk that he demanded. Knowing they'd remain the boss, knowing he would pay the cost, they saw he was severely reprimanded. In the blackest cell on A block, he hanged himself at dawn, with a note stuck to the bunkhead. Don't fuck with me, just take me home. Come and help us lay young Billy down. Luna was a Mexican, the law calls him alien. Crossed the border with a baby and a wife. Though the clothes upon his back were wet, still he thought that he could get some money and things to start a life. Well, it hadn't been too very long when it seemed like everything went wrong. They didn't even have the time to find themselves a home. That foreigner, a brown-skinned male, thrown inside a Texas jail, left the wife and baby quite alone. He eased the pain inside him with a needle in his arm, but the dope just crucified him, and he died to no one's great alarm. Come and help us lay poor Luna down. And we're gonna raise the prison to the ground. Kilowatt was an aging con of 65 who stood a chance to stay alive and leave the joint and walk the streets again. And the time he was to leave drew near. He suffered all the joy and fear of leaving 35 years in the pen. And on the day of his release, he was approached by the police, who took him to the warden, walking slowly by his side. The warden said, "You won't remain here, but it seems a state retainer claims another 10 years of your life." He stepped out in the Texas sunlight, and the cops all stood around. Old Kilowatt ran 50 yards, then threw himself down on the ground. They might as well just laid that old man down. But we're gonna raise the prisons to the ground. Help us raise the prisons to the ground.
We're going to finish this setup with Here's to You. It's a civil rights anthem that Joan made popular throughout Europe, and she co-wrote it with Ennio Morricone for the soundtrack of the film Sacco and Vanzetti, the story of two Italian immigrants who became political prisoners and were wrongfully executed in Massachusetts in 1927. I'm going to sing this in a couple of different languages for you.
Joan's
Italiano
recorded
and French.
songs in 6 different languages. Tonight, Linda's going to sing this song to you in 3 different languages.
Here's to you, Nicola and Bart. Rest forever here in our hearts. The last and final moment is yours. That agony is your triumph. Canto voi, Nicola e Bart, per chi odia la schiavitù, per chi ama la verità. Canto forte libertà. Montano, Nicola e Bart, vous dormez à fond de nos cœurs. Vous y êtes saint de la mort, mais pas et vous vaincrez. Here's to you, Nicola and Bart. Rest forever here in our hearts. The last and final moment is yours. That agony is your triumph. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Joan's most prolific songwriting period took place during the 1970s. In her career, she wrote over 60 songs. The next 7 songs visit Joan's reflections on some of the important people in her life.
Though the songwriters of the industry write most of the songs I do, it's clear that no one would ever sing them quite the way I do. I think tonight I'll sit down and write a heartfelt line or two, and if they turn out good enough, I owe every word to you. Sweet Sir Galahad came in through the window in the night when the moon was in the yard. He took her hand in his and shook the long hair from his neck, and he told her she'd been working much too hard. It was true that ever since the day a crazy man had passed away through the land of poets' pride, he laughed and talked a lot with new people on the block, but always at evening time she cried. And here's to the dawn of their days. La da dee 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 dee. Da 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 da. Da da la da da da. She moved her head a little down on the bed until it rested softly on his knee. And there she dropped her smile, and there she sighed a while, told him all the sadness of those years at number 3. Well, you know, I think my fate's belated 'cause of all the hours I've waited for the day I no longer cry. I get myself to work by 8, but oh, was I born too late? Do you think I'll fail at every single thing I try? And here's to the dawn of their days. He just put his arm around her, and that's the way I found her 8 months later to the day. The lines of a smile erase the tear tracks upon her face, a smile that could linger, even stay. Sweet Sir Galahad came down with his gay bride of flowers, the prince of the hours of her lifetime. And here's to the dawn of their days. Very nice.
We started to set out with a teaser from a heartfelt line or two that was just the chorus, and segued into the first song Jennifer wrote, Sweet Sir Galahad. And that song she wrote for her sister Mimi and performed it at her wedding in 1968 in Big Sur.
Joan wrote the next song for her son Gabriel. Aha! Mucho mejor. Thanks, Dave. Hey, shout out to Dave Chalk over here running this whole live stream thing and helping us so much. So thank you, Dave. Really appreciate you.
Thanks,
and
Dave.
also Paul Irving with Big Big Slow, and all the helpful ticketing buttons to donate to the Slow Food Bank. So thank you so much for your generous donations. You know, there's a core, basic needs that people have to have before they can do anything else, and that is eating, right? So thank you so much. Your dollars at the Slow Food Bank even go much farther than donating food, so they appreciate you very much. Thank you. This is a sweet little fairy tale about a magic horse.
The gray, quiet horse wears the rings of dawn, and nobody knows what mountain he's from. In his mouth he carries the golden key, and nobody sees him but Gabriel and me. Gabriel and me. His nose is silver and his mane is white. His eyes are black in starry like night. So softly he splashes his hooves in the sea, and nobody hears him but Gabriel and me, Gabriel and me. He comes in the morning when the air is still. He races the sun, and he always will raise up the window and crawl through the trees. Oh, we love to fly with you, Gabriel and me, Gabriel and me. For your back is wingless, and there's room for two. We'll mount from a tree and rise straight on through. But I guess you're wiser than I thought you'd be, for you never will listen to Gabriel and me, Gabriel and me. You know that one day we'll forget to wake. Call it destiny, call it fate. You'll nuzzle us softly, and so silently we'll ride in the morning, Gabriel and me, with the golden key, Gabriel and me, forever to the sea.
We tune because we care, right?
Thanks for joining us, everybody.
A journalist once commented to Joan in an interview, "Do you realize you're the only woman in the world who has seen both Bob Dylan and Steve Jobs naked?" And Joan replied,
At the same time,
How long since I spent a whole night in a twin bed with a stranger, his warm arms all around me. How long since I gazed in the dark eyes that melted my soul down to the place where it longs to be. All of your history has little to do with your face. You're mainly a mystery with violins filling in space. You stood in the nude by the mirror and picked out a rose from the bouquet in our hotel, and lay down beside me again, and I watched the rose on the pillow where it fell. I sank and I slept in a twilight with only one care to know that when day broke and I woke, that you'd still be there, you'd still be there. The hours for once they pass slowly, unendingly by, like a sweet breeze on a field. Your gentleness came down upon me, and I guess I thanked you when you caused me to yield. We spoke not a sentence, took not a footstep beyond our 2 days together, which seemingly soon would be gone, soon would be gone. Don't tell me of love everlasting and other sad dreams I don't want to hear. Just tell me of passionate strangers who rescue each other from a lifetime of cares. 'Cause if love means forever expecting and nothing returned, then I hope I'll be given another whole lifetime to learn. 'Cause you gave to me oh so many things, it makes me wonder how they could belong to me. And I gave you only my dark eyes that melted my soul down to the place where it longs to be. It's 1975, and there's a call from a booth in the Midwest. Well, I'll be damned, here comes your ghost again. But that's not unusual, it's just that the moon is full and you happen to call. And here I sit, hand on the telephone, hearing a voice I'd known a couple of light years ago, heading straight for a fall. As I remember, your eyes were bluer than robin's eggs. My poetry was lousy, you said. Where are you calling from? A booth in the Midwest. 10 years ago I bought you some cufflinks. You brought me something. We both know what memories can bring. They bring diamonds and rust. Well, you burst on the scene, already a legend, the unwashed phenomenon, the original vagabond. You strayed into my arms, and there you stayed, temporarily lost at sea. The Madonna was Yes, the girl on the half shell would keep you unharmed. Now I see you standing with brown leaves falling around and snow in your hair. Now you're smiling out the window of that crummy hotel over Washington Square. Our breath comes out, white clouds mingles and hangs in the air. Speaking strictly for me, we both could have died then and there. Now you're telling me you're not nostalgic. Then give me another word for it. You are so good with words and at keeping things vague. 'Cause I need some of that vagueness now. It's all come back too clearly. Yes, I loved you dearly. And if you're offering me diamonds and rust, I've already paid.
Nobody does that song like Joan. Beautiful, haunting melody.
Thank you, Joan.
Happy birthday, Joan.
Happy birthday! You know, she's having an art exhibit in New York, and it's 5:30 this evening Pacific time. So if you go to joanbaez.com, you'll get all the information, and you can check out all of her amazing artwork. Mischief Makers is the name of her exhibit, and she's been painting portraits of very influential people, many of whom are in politics, who are creating social change through nonviolence. And that is Joan's, you know, that's her thing. So check that out this evening.
When describing the next song, Joan said, "It's about my mom, it's about me, and it's about my son." Here's Honest Lullaby.
Early in the game, I taught myself to sing and play and use a little trickery on kids who never favored me. Those were years of crinoline slips and cotton skirts and swinging hips and dangerously painted lips and stars of stage and screen. Pedal pushers, ankle socks, padded bras and campus jocks who hid their vernal equinox in pairs of faded jeans and slept at home resentfully, coveting their dreams. I look around and I wonder how the years and I survived. I had a mother who sang to me an honest lullaby. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yellow, brown, and black and white, our Father bless us all tonight. I bow my head at the football games, close a prayer in Jesus' name, lusting after football heroes, tough Pachuco, little Neros, forfeiting my A's for zeros, futures unforeseen, spending all my energy in keeping my virginity and living in a fantasy in love with Jimmy Dean. If you will be my king, Jimmy, Jimmy, I will be your queen. look around and I wonder how the years and I survived. I had a mother who sang to me an honest lullaby. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah. Traveled all around the world and knew more than most the other girls. Of foreign languages in school, Paris, Rome, and Istanbul. But those things never worked for me. The town was much too small, you see, and people have a way of being even smaller yet. But though the times in life were hard, no one promised me a garden of roses, so I did okay. I took what I could get and did the things that I might do for those less fortunate. I look around and I wonder how the years and I survived. I had a mother who sang to me an honest lullaby. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You must be growing a quarter of an inch a day. You've already lived near half the years you'll be when you go away. With your teddy bears and alligators, enterprise communicators, all the tiny aviators head into the sky. And while the others play with you, I hope to find a way with you, and sometimes spend a day with you. I'll catch you as you fly, or if I'm worth a mother's salt, I'll wave as you go by. And if you look around and you wonder how the years and you'll survive, honey, you've got a mother who sings to you, dances on the strings for you, opens her heart and brings to you an honest lullaby. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love that song. It reminds me of my own son. Hi, Nathan.
All right. How many children are in the audience who grew up in the 60s? You can shout and wave. How about the 70s?
I did.
Nice. Well, I grew up in the 80s, and so did Joan's son, Gabriel. And she wrote this song for her, and it's called For the Children of the 80s.
We are the children of the 80s, haven't we grown? We're tender as a lotus, and we're tougher than stone. And the age of our innocence is somewhere in the garden. We like the music of the 60s, the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, and the Doors, Flower Children, Woodstock, and the war. Ah, but it's getting harder to deceive us, and we don't care if Dylan's gone to Jesus. Jimi Hendrix is playing on. We know Janis Joplin was a rose, but all the stuff she put in her arms were not alarmed. We are the children of the 80s, haven't we grown? We're tender as a lotus, and we're tougher than stone. And the age of our innocence is somewhere in the garden. Some of us are sisters and the brothers who take a leather jacket and a single golden earring, hang out at discos, rock shows, lose our hearing, take uppers, downers, blues and reds and yellows. Our brains are turning to jello. We are looking forward to the days when we live inside of a purple haze, and the salvation of the soul is rock and roll. We are the children of the 80s, haven't we grown? We're tender as a lotus, and we're tougher than stone. And the age of our innocence is somewhere in the garden. Recently, have you looked in our eyes? Maybe we're your conscience in disguise. We're well informed and we are wise. Please stop telling us lies. We know Afghanistan's invaded, and we know El Salvador's dictated. But our lives have just begun. We are the warriors of the sun. We're the golden boys and the golden girls for a better world. We are the children of the 80s, haven't we grown? We're tender as a lotus, and we're tougher than stone. And the age of our innocence is somewhere in the garden.
This next song, Gracias a la Vida, was written by Spanish composer Violeta Parra, and it's a song of thanks to life. Joan has been singing this beautiful song of gratitude since the 1970s. And I would like to dedicate this song to our good friend Carolyn Birchfield.
Gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto, me dio lucero que cuando los abro perfecto distingo lo negro de blanco, y en el alto cielo su fondo estrellado, y en las multitudes el hombre que yo amo. Gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto, me ha dado el sonido y el abecedario, con él las palabras que pienso y declaro, madre, amigo, hermano, y los alumbrando la ruta del alma del que estoy amando. La 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 la. Gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto, me ha dado el oído, que en todo su ancho graba noche y día, grillos y canarios, martillos, turbinas, labridas, chubascos, y en las fontanas de mi bien amado. La 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 la. Gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto, me ha dado la marcha de mis pies cansados, con ellos anduve ciudades y charcos, playas y desiertos, montañas y llanos, y la casa tuya, tu calle y tu patio. La 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 la. Gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto, me ha dado la risa y me ha dado el llanto. Así yo distingo, chica de quebranto, los dos materiales que forman mi canto y el canto de ustedes, que el mismo canto. Gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto.
The next two songs were written by Steve Earle, God is God, and we'll follow that up with Jerusalem.
I believe in prophecy. Some folks see things not everybody can see. Once in a while they pass a secret along to you and me. And I believe in miracles. Something sacred burning in every bush and tree. We can all learn to sing the songs the angels sing. And I believe in God, and God is me.
Hey, Dave, our audience is here.
I've traveled around the world, stood on mighty mountains and gazed across the wilderness. Never seen a line in the sand or a diamond in the dust. And as our fate unfurled, every day that passes I'm sure about a little bit less. Even my money keeps telling me it's God I need to trust. And I believe in God, and God is us. God in my little understanding, don't care what name I call. Whether or not I believe doesn't matter at all. I receive the blessings. Every day on us another chance to get it right. Let this little light of mine shine and rage against the night. Just another lesson. Maybe someone's watching and wondering what I got. Maybe this is why I'm here on earth, and maybe not. And I believe in God,
Did you know Steve Earle, Jerusalem?
I woke up this morning and none of the news was good. The death machines were rolling across the ground where Jesus stood. And the man on my TV told me it always been that way, and there's nothing anyone can do or say. And I almost listened to him, and I almost lost my mind. I regained my senses again. I looked into my heart to find I believe that one fine day the children of Abraham will lay down their swords forever in Jerusalem. Maybe I'm only dreaming, or maybe I'm just a fool, but I don't remember learning how to hate in Sunday school. Somewhere along the way I strayed and never looked back again. Ah, but I still find some comfort now and then. And the storms come rumbling in, and I cannot lay me down. The drums start drumming again, and I cannot stand the sound. I believe that one fine day the lion and the lamb will lay down in peace together in Jerusalem, and there'll be no barricades then, and there'll be no wires or walls, and we'll wash all this blood from our hands, all this hatred from our souls. I believe that one fine day the children of Abraham will lay down their swords forever in Jerusalem. Swords forever in Jerusalem.
All right. We're going to run a little bit over, if you guys don't mind. We still have 4 songs to go. This is an important one.
Did you know that in 2017, Joan Baez was elected to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Joan, yes.
Yay, Joan! And in that same year, she released her first original song in 25 years, inspired by the events happening at the time in 2017 in Washington, D.C. Her recording of this song, called Nasty Man, went viral on YouTube. Here's a little song about a man gone wrong while building up his evil empire. And after months of ifs and buts, the papers got the guts to call the man of the year a liar. To call the man of the year a liar.
hustling and bustling across the big green lawn, stomping through the famous rose garden. And every little rose turned up its pretty nose, saying you owe the earth a pardon, saying you owe the earth a pardon. Fumbling and bumbling through the halls at night, turning every light switch on. You're searching for the room where you used to be the groom, but she's packed all her jewelry and gone. Yeah, she's packed her line of jewelry and gone. The former president, Mrs. President, left you corn and lima beans and tomatoes. You said rip them all out, they'll only give me gout, and that's unbecoming for a future dictator. That's unbecoming for a future dictator. You're gonna build a wall, the bigliest wall, the beautifulest wall around our borders. Well, here's what I think. You better talk to a shrink, 'cause you've got serious psychological disorders. You've got dangerous pathological disorders. Well, that's my little song about a man gone wrong. He's nasty from his head to his feet. And when the dirt on this man finally hits the fan, and no one gives a damn about his tweets, he'll be finally and forever obsolete.
Keep your eye on the prize, wear your heart on your sleeve, and don't let the bastards get you down. Joan Baez, 2020.
We have just a couple songs left. This song was written by Zoe Mulford about the shooting that took place in Charlotte, South Carolina in 2015, and President Barack Obama's nationwide televised response. A young man came to a house of prayer. He did not ask what brought him there. He was not friend, he was not kin, but they opened the door and they let him in. And for an hour the stranger stayed. They sat with him and he seemed to pray. Then that young man drew a gun and killed 9 people, old and young. In Charleston, in the month of June, the mourners gathered in a room. The president came to speak some words, and the cameras rolled and the nation heard. But no words could say what must be said for all the living and the
dead. So on that day and in that place, the president sang Amazing Grace. The president sang Amazing Grace. We argued where to lay the blame, on one man's hate or our nation's shame, some sickness of the mind or soul, and how the wounds might be made whole. But no words could say what must be said for all the living and the dead. So on that day and in that place, the president sang Amazing Grace. My president sang Amazing Grace.
Tonight we drive down hatred with the early James Redemption. Sing along with us.
Virgil Kane was my name, and I drove on the Danville train till Stoneman's cavalry came and tore up the tracks again. In the winter of '65, we were hungry, just barely alive. By May 10th, when Richmond had fell, it was a time to remember, a time to bid farewell. Tonight we drive old Dixie down, and all the bells are ringing. Tonight we drive old Dixie down, and all the people are singing. They sing na 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 na.
Good job. We're going to do that again later.
Back with my wife in Tennessee, and one day she called to me, Virgil, quick, come see, there goes a Robert E. Lee. Now I don't mind chopping wood, and I don't care if the money's no good. Just take what you need and leave the rest, and hold on to what has stood the test of time.
Here we go.
Tonight we drive old Dixie down, and all the bells are ringing. Tonight we drive old Dixie down, and all the people are singing. Here we go. Na 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 na. Unlike my father before me, who I'll never understand, and like my brothers below me, who took a rebel stand, depraved and powered to enslave, I think it's time we laid hate in its grave. I swear by the mud below my feet, those monuments won't stand no matter how much concrete.
Sing with me one more time.
Tonight we drive old Dixie down, and all the bells are ringing. Tonight we drive old Dixie down, and all the people are singing. They sing na 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 na. Last one. Tonight we drive old Dixie down, and all the bells are ringing. Tonight we drive old Dixie down, and all the people are singing.
Come on now.
Na 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 na.
so much for watching our live stream today, and we'd like to thank especially Dave Chalk for engineering and video, and Mr. Paul Irving for all the promotion. This last song was written by Joan. It's called I'm With You.
Oh, it's time to set you free. Let you sail away from me. Though I'll miss you when you do, I'm with you. Turn your face into the wind. Let your greatest dreams begin. Take the high road, win or lose, I'm with you. I was there in the morning light with a love that would last, and I'll be there on your darkest night when the sun's long gone and your heart is sinking fast. When you stumble, when you fall, when they back you to the wall, after all the rest are through, I'm with you.
We hope that you've been inspired by Joan's message of nonviolence and peace activism. We pray that you take that home with you today and spread it far and wide. Together, we can make positive change. Also, as one of your first responders, as an ER nurse, I really appreciate all of you following precautions and slowing the spread of COVID-19. Thank you so much for wearing your masks and for not socializing and for getting your vaccine. Thank you so much. Here's the last verse. We love you.
So it's time to set you free. Let you sail away from me. I've done all that I can do. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. Take the high road, win or lose, I'm with you.
Happy birthday, Joan.
Thank you so much.